Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. We're back with another installment of the Warframe Solo Steel Path series. Now today we're going to be going through Interception, and as you can see on screen we're going to be using Khora for this. So if you're going to enjoy this video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and any questions you have on the gameplay for the Interception mission or the build, drop those in the comments below. And let's get into the video. Okay, so just before we get into the build, I just want to mention something about the operator. So first of all, the school, I would definitely recommend you use Zenuric for the Wellspring ability. Now, this is going to be useful just to gain passive energy whilst we're waiting in the Interception mission. And I'll explain more later, but you will definitely want this, because as I said, it will help with your passive energy gain. And the second thing that you may want is Magus Elevate on your operator. Now this is because on the off chance that you forget to cast one of your abilities for Khora, then you can use Magus Elevate, so that when you get attacked you can spam in and out of operator mode and give your Warframe 300 health back. And it's 95% chance, so it's pretty much going to happen every single time. So with those two out the way, let's get into the actual build itself. Okay, so the build itself is pretty simple. It doesn't require any former for this build either. So what we're going to be doing is, first of all, physique. I couldn't be bothered to former, so I didn't really change it, and plus it gives me health anyway, which is nice to have in the mission. Okay, then we have Constitution here for duration, paired with Prime Continuity. Now, if you don't have Prime Continuity, you can just use normal continuity. It doesn't make a difference. It would just mean you will have to cast a bit more. Then we have Fleeting Expertise and Streamline. These are basically going to make it so that we pay very little, because the ability we're going to be using is Strangle Dome, and without any efficiency, just 100%, it does cost 100, which is quite a lot. So we're going to be using both efficiency mods just to make it very cheap. In this case, it's 25 energy. Then we have Stretch, Augur Reach, and Overextended. Now all of these are pumping our range to maximum, or the max we can get. And that's because the idea in the Interception mission is that we're not trying to kill the enemies, but we're just trying to incapacitate them so that they can't shoot at you. And that way you will not get more enemies spawning, and you will not have to kill that many either. I'll explain more once we get into the gameplay, but that's the gist of it. And then finally we have Vigor here, just for some sort of survivability, you know, health shield, in case you forget again to cast your fourth ability, they start shooting at you, you know, you have more health and shield. Now, Arcanes are optional here. You do not need them. However, again, they are quite nice to have. First of all, Arcane Guardian, I mean, pretty simple really. On damaged, you get armor, right? Well, 15% chance of getting armor. And I said this in my previous video, the nice thing about this Arcane is that throughout every single rank, the chance of proccing the Arcane and the duration that it lasts for are all the same. You only get extra armor for each rank. So even if you have unranked, slap it on, because 150 armor is still armor, right? And the second Arcane, it can be interchangeable. I wouldn't recommend Arcane Energize like I have on here, because we're not actually killing enemies, so we're not really trying to, well, we're not going to get any energy orbs to pick up and actually proc this Arcane. So I wouldn't recommend this one. You could probably put on perhaps Arcane Grace or Arcane Aegis, anything like those two. Arcane Barrier. Barrier could be a good one, to be fair, because when you do get hit, you know, you have that chance of reviving your shields completely. And that is literally the build. Now, I would say that this mod is interchangeable. You can really put whatever survivability mod you wanted in there. If you wanted a different type of mod, you could put that in there. But it's entirely up to you. You could put redirection in there. You could put Nearest Hatred if you have that, full health and a bit more duration. But it's entirely up to you. Okay, so I'm gonna slap Vigor back in, and that's just the build. Okay, Zero Former. A lot of these mods are quite easy to get if you don't have them already. Some of them you may need to do Deimos vaults for, but they shouldn't be that hard to get. So with the build out the way, let's get into the gameplay, because you're not actually going to need any specific weapons for this build. This build alone just works, okay? You may need some sort of good weapon at the end to kill all the enemies once you've completed the mission. But yeah, let's get into the gameplay. Okay, so we're in the mission. Now what we're going to be doing is, well, I'll explain it how you are supposed to go about it. So, first of all, what you want to do is collect this first one, right? We're going to put a dome on it. And then, after we've got this, so he's been picked up, but it's doing very little damage right now.
This tower
right?
is ours now.
So now, we will make our way to this one over here, and put a dome here. Okay? So, as I said previously, the idea is that
Tower online.
we're subduing them. So we subdue them so that we're not killing them, they're not dying, and more are not spawning, right? And that way, hopefully, unless you got unlucky and you got one on the first spawn, Eximus units should not be spawning, because the other units are not dying.
You have captured a radio
Right.
tower.
So we just keep doing this, and
You have lost control of a tower.
okay, it's fine if you lose control. Just re-get it back, I guess, and you're cool.
Tower captured. Beginning stream decode now.
But as you saw, there was an Eximus unit here, so let's just get rid of him. Let's get rid of all of his health, and then we can just slice him off and mercy kill him. Okay. And now we'll do that again. We'll come back here and let this do that, and we'll grab that one. And then we're going to grab this one here. Okay? And essentially the whole point of this is we've got control of all 4 towers now, but we're only really defending 2 of them.
We are in total control. Keep fighting.
So we come back here and do this one. Then we go back over here and do this one. And then in between these, what you just do is you cast your Wellspring, and you just gain that passive energy so that you don't ever run out and struggle, right? And that is literally all this is. Now we just chill here and do the same thing over and over again until we've got to 100%. And then once all of this, and once we get to 100%, of course, what we can do is, where we've got a load of enemies like this, is use our second ability, crowd them all together, and then depending on whatever weapon you have, just kill them all. If you're sort of status procking and then using a melee with condition overload, you can do that. If you're using a glaive with a explosive build, then you can do that. And then once you've killed them all, you've completed the mission. It's just as simple as that. And that's the key really to interception missions really. It's just to control 2 towers, you know, keeping the enemies in them so that, you know, you don't have to kill them and then worry about which post they're going to spawn on next and have to defend that one. You're keeping the enemies restricted to one site and you're controlling 2 of them, and it's just easy pickings from there. Just keep doing this. And as you saw there, I did get a bit unlucky and I got 1 eczema spawning, but as long as you... Oh, see, that is it. We're done. As I was saying, as long as you don't kill multiple enemies whilst killing the eczemas, then you're cool. Because at that point, you end up sort of... You sort of end up in a situation where you start spawning other enemies that you don't want, right? And then you just kill all of these people. You could also like do this if you wanted, and then if there was too many. But when the thingy guy spawns, where is he? Oh, he's over here. We can just subdue him there. What is that? And then just go at him and kill him easily.
Extraction is available, but there are more messages.
Okay, and we're done. You don't even need to kill them all, really. If there are a couple left, it will just let you have it. And that is it. Oh, Khora interrupts. And that is literally it. It's that simple. And that is it for this interception video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, sub to the channel. If you have any questions on either the interception gameplay and how you do it, or the build itself, drop those down in the comments. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.